Then we are going to go to Daniel 6, where we see Daniel threw in the lion's den. So let me read from verse 1. Darius the Mede decided to divide the kingdoms into 120 provinces, and he appointed a high official to rule over each province. The king also chose Daniel and 2 others as administrators to supervise the high officers and brought the king's interests. Daniel soon proved himself more capable than all the other administrators and high officials because of Daniel's great ability. The king made plans to place him over the entire empire. Then the other administrators and high officials began searching for some fault in the way Daniel was handling government affairs, but they couldn't find anything to criticize or condemn. He was faithful, always responsible, and completely trustworthy. So they concluded, our only chance of finding grounds for accusing Daniel will be in the connection with rules of his religion. So the administrators and high officers went to the king. Live long, King Darius. We are all in agreement, we administrators, officials, high officers, advisors, and governors, that the king should make a law that will be strictly enforced. Give orders that for the next 30 days, any person who prays to anyone, divine or human, expect you, your majesty, will be thrown into the den of lions. And now, your majesty, issue and sign this law so that it can be changed. An official law of the Medes or Persians that cannot be revoked. So King Darius signed the law. But when Daniel learned that law had been signed, he went home and knelt down as usual in his upstairs room with its windows open towards Jerusalem. He prayed 3 times a day, just as he had done always, giving thanks to his God. Then the officials went together to Daniel's house and found him praying and asking for God's help. So they went straight to the king and reminded him about his law. Didn't you not sign a law that for the next 30 days any person who prays to anyone, divine or human, expect from you, your majesty, will be thrown into the den of lions? Yes, the king replied, that decision stands. It is an official law of the Medes and Persians that cannot be revoked. 13. Then they told the king, that man Daniel, one of the captives from Judah, is ignoring you and your law. He still prays to his God 3 times a day. Hearing this, the king was deeply troubled, and he tried to think of a way to save Daniel. He spent the rest of the day looking for a way to get Daniel out of the predicament. In the evening, the young men went together to the king and said, Your Majesty, you know that according to the law of the Medes and Persians, no law that the king signs can be changed. So at last the king gave orders for Daniel to be arrested and thrown into the den of lions. The king said to him, May your God, whom you serve so faithfully, rescue you. A stone was brought and placed over the mouth of the den. The king sealed the stone with his royal seal and seals of his nobles, so that no one could rescue Daniel. Then the king returned to his palace and spent the night fasting. He refused his usual entertainment and couldn't sleep at all that night. Very early in the morning, the king got up and hurried out to the lion's den. When he got there, he called out in anguish, Daniel, servant of the living God, was your God, whom you serve so faithful, able to rescue you from the lions? Daniel answered, Live long the king. May my God send his angel to shut the lions' mouths so that they would not hurt me. For I have been found innocent in his sight, and I have not wronged you, your majesty.